RiverFox again, and welcome back to another Fortnite Save the World video. If you are new around here, then thank you very much for stopping by. If you do like the content that you see today, then please drop a like down below, and don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you'll always get updated of any new content when it comes out. But let's get into today's video. Now I'm going to talk to you about heroes today. Now, as you'll see, there are loads and loads and loads of different heroes that you could have, but they all basically get broken down into 4 different categories. You have Outlanders, Ninjas, Constructors, and Soldiers. There is no best hero. The best hero is basically the one that you get on with the best, the one that you prefer to use. And me, I like to use Pathfinder Jess. That's just my favourite. Because Pathfinder Jess, as you can see on the right here, she's got one of the main things I like is called In the Zone, which after 5 hits in a row with a pickaxe, gain In the Zone, which increases pickaxe damage by 24%. But also, when you've done those 5 hits, you will get, what's it called? Keen Eyes. There we are. It's called Keen Eyes, which will reveal containers that contain valuable objects within 2 tiles in the zone. So basically, when you're in your missions, anything that could contain any loot for you will have a sort of glow around it. It can be green or blue or even purple if it's a really good chest. Could be purple as well. She has the loot llama, which is good for getting materials, and she's got Teddy, which is brilliant. She has passing zone, increases run speed while in the zone by 12%. She of course got the keen eyes I mentioned. She has anti-material charge. Loot find, she can have 6% extra chance to find double loot. So if you find a chest, then she's got a 6% chance of it having twice as much materials or loot in it. Work increases harvesting weapon damage by 24%, so it makes any harvesting and looting a lot quicker. The keener eyes that I mentioned. She has phase shift. Diamond llama, which is a good one, increases yield of building materials and crafting ingredients within the loot llama by 50%. So it's so much better just using her. Can also drop crystals and double the amount of ore dropped when the loot llama is completely destroyed. The last one, in deep in the zone, can gain 40 armor and increase pickaxe damage by an additional 24% during in the zone. So she's brilliant for your looting and farming. Another one which can be really good as well is Fragment Flurry Jess. Now I waited for such a long time to get this hero, and she is absolutely brilliant. The only thing that she is missing, which would make her, in my opinion, the best hero, is the phase shift. If she had the phase shift as well, then I'd probably say she was the best hero that you could get. But that's just my opinion. So you might think different, which is perfectly fine. Another good one is a Flash AC, which again has majority of the sort of abilities as my Pathfinder does. He has a shock tower, which is good. He's got the llama, he's got the phase shift, Hit them while they're down, 24% damage to stunned, staggered and knocked down targets. Has phased out, reduces the refill time of phase shift charges by 3 seconds, so it makes it quicker. He's got the anti-material charge, parting gift. Phase shift drops 2 high impact explosives. Dodging melee attacks with phase shift grants an extra explosive. Super capacitator further increases the duration of shock tower by 1 second. Fist of the South Moon reduces the cooldown of anti-material charge by 5 seconds. It's got in the zone, same as Pathfinder. Electroshock. Shock tower deals 160% additional impact damage. And kinetic punch increases the impact of anti-material charge by 100% and increases the knockback to be effective against large enemies. So it's another good one to use. Okay, let's have a look now at the ninjas. Now, one of the first heroes I started out with was Assassin Sarah down here. Of course, as I progressed through Stonewood and in Plankerton, I upgraded her, and I've recently just put her to a 106. So this one here actually started out like that one. Now she has all these abilities. Shinobi reduces fall damage taken by 10%, increases run and sprint speed by 10%. They have throw-in stars, which is another sort of weapon that you can use while you've got Assassin Sarah. The Mantis Leap is like a big jump then, which you can use with the sword. Now, ninjas are pretty good with swords, so if you like swords, then a ninja is probably the best hero for you to use. She's got a few different sword benefits there, and Dragon Slash, Assassination, Longsation, Easier Sword, and Smoke Bomb, which is basically like a bomb that you chuck down over the husks, which causes some damage as you go. Pain Mastery and Corrosive Blade. Now, another good ninja is Dragon Scorch, which of course has got all his own sort of benefits of using, so it's another good one you can try out. The Cloaked Star I got as a reward for one of the Plankerton missions, I believe it was, which I did start levelling up at the time, but you know, I didn't really get on with it too well, so I never finished up upgrading and levelling it up. So next one, I always press the wrong button. Next one that we go over to now is the Constructors. Now, Constructors are best for base ability and sort of building strength. And I started off with Guardian Nox, I believe, when I first started. And again, I started using it and upgrading it, but then I managed to get Base Kyle initially, which I upgraded to Heavy Base Kyle. And then when it came out in the store a few months back, I then bought the Mega Base Kyle from the store, which of course is a mythic hero, which is better than the legendary. And the Mega Base Kyle has Creative Engineering, increases build speed by 10% and reduces building cost by 10%, so it's quicker to build and doesn't use as much materials to build it. He has a Plasma Pulse, but one of the main features is Base. When you use Base Kyle or Mega Base Kyle, any of the Kyles, you will get the Base ability, which when you're on a mission and so you build defences around your atlas. You can put a base down, which basically will give the whole base or anything attached to it stronger structures and make it, you know, much harder for the husks to sort of knock it down. You have automated defences, increases base connectivity by 1 building piece, so it will make it that bit larger area that it covers. You have a fast build, which increases building construction speed by 24%, so it's quicker to build. You have a bull rush ability, which is good if you've got large hordes of husks. You can basically charge at them and knock them all down in the one go. Electrified floors. Enemies within the area affected by base take damage every 2 seconds. Big Brother increases base connectivity by 1 building piece again, so it makes it a bit larger again. Fully Contained increases the damage reflected by base by 50%, so any damage that happens to the base will give 50% damage back to the husks that are doing it then, which is good. Kinetic Overload, and you have Lofty Architecture, increases health of buildings within area of base by 15%, so it's much better. And Mega Base increases base connectivity by 2 building pieces. There are you know, plenty of other different constructors, you know, that you can use, but Mega Base Kyle is my favourite one. So next along the list now we have soldiers. Now there again is quite a lot of different soldiers, and I do want to try and upgrade First Shot Rio, because I haven't used it yet, but she does have some really good benefits to her. Warcry, I've never been a fan of Warcry myself, but it can be useful. But she has debilitating shots. Dealing range damage applies 1 stack of vulnerability, increasing damage taken from all sources by 5% on the target for 15 seconds. So in other words, she will deal damage then to the husks at, you know, a much better rate. She also has the First Assault, which the first bullet fired after reloading an assault rifle critically hits enemies. So every time you reload, that first shot that you take after that will give her a critical damage, so it's a lot more damage to the husks. She's got a shockwave, a kneecapper and a blitz, things like that. But my favourite soldier is a Skull Trooper Jonesy. If we go back up at top here, is he has a ranged weapon damage increased by 10%, and he gets a 10% increased health as well. Going Commando, which is basically, if you play Battle Royale, he has a minigun which you can fetch out and absolutely wipe out the husks with a minigun. It will only last for what is it? Yeah, for 10 seconds it lasts for, until it resets, and then you have to wait to reuse it. But if you've got loads and loads of husks coming after you, then it's brilliant to use for that. It's got Lingering Pain, which the vulnerability effect from debilitating shots can now stack up to 5 times. Steady Aim. So some weapons do have a recoil on them, which means if you hold the fire button down, the recoil moves the gun, so there's basically firing up higher and higher all the time. But this will reduce that by 29%, so there's less recoil on it. which is also very useful if you don't have great aim like myself. Quick Clip increases reload speed by 30%. Make It Rain, headshotting enemies, increases ranged weapon rate of fire by 25% for 5 seconds. So it's a quicker fire rate then. You got your Frag Grenades, which are useful. Knee Capper increases the effectiveness of debilitating shots vulnerability stacks to 9%. And it has Keep Out. Keep Out leaves a residual energy field doing 15% of the initial grenade blast damage every 1 second over 10 seconds. So that can be very useful as well. I have got here the Raven, which I did get quite a while back. That's why it was upgraded to 106. But has some of the features of the Skull Trooper Jonesy, but it doesn't have as many. I don't think. I don't prefer it as much. So they are the 4 different types of heroes. Do let me know down below in the comments which one you prefer most. Another option here you'll see is basically the collection book tab. Now on the collection book tab you will basically will show you any heroes that you have that you could add into your collection book if you wanted. I've got quite a few here, which if I have a look, I've got Trailblazer AC and Shock Specialist AC, which are pretty much the same. I could possibly add 1 or 2 of them in, but I've left them for now. So that's all your heroes that you can use. Last tab I want to have a look into now is the hero loadout, because obviously, as I said, I use Pathfinder Jess. But you have 2 extra options here called a squad bonus, and you can use these when you're in your everyday missions. Depending on what hero you have, it will depend on what squad heroes you want to put in. So because I've got the Pathfinder Jess now, I've got Megabase Kyle in for the support squad bonus, because it will then give me the fast build. So by using that I can build 24% faster when I build any buildings. And for the tactical squad slot I've got the Raven, because he has the explosive round, so killing 10 enemies with a ranged weapon deals 5,839.6 damage in a 1-tile radius. So, you know, just having him slotted in there will cause so much more damage using the weapons that you've got. You can switch these out. You can change these. So if I go over here now, now he will give me Bull Rush ability, but that's no good for the Outlander, because she doesn't have that ability to start with, so I'm not going to be using it, so there's no point additional benefit on it. Now I could use Fragment Flurry, which would mean then that whenever I use my Teddy, she'd fire 22 base energy damage, so I could change it to that. Again, with the Skull Trooper, Lucky Stars, you only have the Lucky Stars with ninjas, so there wouldn't be any point using it on there. So you can play about with it. You can see which ones best suit your playing style, and yeah, and that will give you an extra benefits on your missions. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope it did help you out a little bit. That's all I can say for today. I'm going to be fetching some more videos out soon on defenders and expeditions, things like that. So do keep a check out. Click that subscribe button and you'll get notified then when them videos come out. But until next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe.